Well, we are on location with Black Money Matters, and I'm excited to be here at Hannah Berry Hair Salon because Jameca's been talking about this place and talking about this place and telling me that there are some wonderful things inside. Jameca, you want to talk about that?
Yes.
Because you turned me on.
Yes, and I am so excited to be here today. And so we are going to interview the owner of Hannah Berry Hair Salon. And like Dr. Weaver said, I've been so excited. I was excited, before she opened the salon and just watching her story via social media. And so we're going to meet her today. And I've met her because actually, I'll tell you guys about that once we start the interview. But I've met her before and I've really been excited about this. So we are really excited to be on location today. So join us for this episode of Black Money Matters.
But I have one question before we go in.
Okay.
You said they have silk pillowcase?
Yes.
I need a pillowcase.
I am too.
I am. It's embarrassing. I'm about as DIY. Well, you saw. Well, welcome to another episode of Black Money Matters.
Yes.
We're so excited. Jameca.
Yes.
You've been telling me about Hannah Berry Hair Salon,
have.
and we're finally here.
We are here. Well, so first, I'm Jameca Patrick. I am one of the hosts for Black Money Matters.
I
and
know, I'm so excited. I didn't even say who I was. I'm Karen Weaver, co-host of Black Money Matters. And Jameca, why don't you introduce our guest today?
We are here today with salon owner and operator of Hannah Berry Hair Salon. And we are so excited to be here today.
Because we set this up a while. We've been waiting
Yes.
to come here and see. We've been waiting for you.
And you want to know what you maybe don't know? What I'm sure you don't know. We started asking people what businesses in the community would you like to see us go to?
Okay.
And so some young people said, you need to go to Hannah Berry. And I'm like, I know her.
Okay.
I'm like, that's where I get my flat iron.
Well, guess
Okay.
what? Not only did some young people tell us, but I was someplace last week, and the lady asked me, where we were going. And she was young. You all are younger. and she said, when I told her where we were coming, she said, oh, you need to go there.
Oh, wow.
You need to go there. So it's getting around all over.
Yeah.
It's getting around all over. And that's why we're here.
Okay.
That's why we're here, because you have quite a story to tell.
Yes, I do. And I'm super excited to tell it and share it.
And that's what we do. And that was really why we started Black Money Matters, because we really want to talk about economic empowerment and opportunity in the Black community, and highlight, we talk about a lot of things that money has to do within the Black community, but we want to highlight businesses and entrepreneurs as well.
Okay.
And so when Jameca told me, she said, I have a schedule. I said, okay, well, let's go.
Well, let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Before we start,
Yes.
I want to talk just briefly about another small Black business in
Go
the
right
community,
ahead.
another young lady.
Go right
And
ahead.
so we are wearing these bracelets today.
No, that's right.
And we got these bracelets from She Charm by Faith. And so we are
I know
super
it.
excited.
I know it,
She
and it
got our
has
little
the initials for the show on there for Black Money
Black Money
Matters.
Matters.
I'm sure she could put you all's initials
Yeah.
on there if that's what you want.
These were made exclusively for us.
Right.
However, she does these. She does the charm bracelets.
Mhm.
She does bracelets for men. She can custom make them, and she also has a selection ready selection. And so we are going to, when we do our behind the scenes, her information. You can also find it on our Facebook page
I was
at
gonna
Black
say,
Money Matters.
right. And on Instagram.
Instagram.
We have Instagram now. Jameca?
I know.
Come on.
We are.
You don't know. Listen.
Right. This
has
is
been
a big deal for us.
We're on Instagram now.
And so our Instagram page is Black Money Matters Inc. Money. So follow us
Please.
on Instagram.
Okay.
And so getting back to you, Miss Berry, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get here?
Okay,
Right.
absolutely. So I am a single mother of 2 boys. I'm 36 years old. I've been a cosmetologist in the Flint community for 19 years now.
Okay.
I started at this legit when I started in the hair industry when I was 10, and I know that might sound young, but I have a youth program, and I make sure if you are interested in the hair industry, no matter what age, I started at the age of 6.
Wow.
You develop your craft at such an early age. When my father passed at 10, the passion of hair just became overwhelming for me because I didn't go to school. No one taught me and no one watched me. It was just, I know for a fact that it was a God-given talent. So once I began to get up in age, I started working at the salon at age 16. So once I started to really develop my craft, it started in high school. So once all of my peers started to see, oh my goodness, I used to do my own hair. So once they see my hair, I did my hair for prom. I never forget, that's really how I got into it. I went to a stylist, she did my hair, she messed me up. I was so heartbroken. I went home, washed it out, redid it. So when I came to the prom, everybody like, oh my goodness, who did your hair? And they didn't
You
even
said,
believe
"I
me.
did."
Yep, I did my hair. So that's kind of how my name actually got started in the community. So years down the line, I started to maneuver in different hair salons, but the environment for me in different hair salons just really wasn't my thing. I just kind of felt like it was a little catty or whatever. So eventually I stepped out of the salon scene and started working from home. And after I had my youngest son, I said I won't be able to work in another hair salon unless it's my own. So
How long have you had it?
I actually, my grand opening was 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yep, I got this space in November of 2019, and I was just able to do my grand opening 3 weeks ago. So that opening up a business, starting a business is such a task. It's such a process. It's you have to.
And that's what we want you to tell us about.
Absolutely.
that
And
for
before
sure.
you tell us that, I just want to pause for 1 second and I just want to just go back to how I met you.
Okay.
I was on and then I want to talk about something else too.
Okay.
And I know you're probably going to get to it, but I was super excited to see. I was looking for some flat irons.
Okay.
And so I was on a Facebook group, and I'm like, so can somebody tell me a good name for some flat irons? I need some good flat irons. And people started tagging you, and some people just said your name, and some people started tagging you. And I think I sent you an inbox on Messenger on Facebook, and you said, yeah, I sell flat irons, and I was excited because at the time I was working at City Hall for Mayor Weaver, and she had created an economic development department that was really big on building black economics.
Yeah.
Actually, building economics in the city of Flint.
And a lot on small business.
And we were doing a lot on
entrepreneurship.
small
We
businesses and
on that.
entrepreneurship. And so I was excited because, I'm seeing that you're young, you're from Flint. And so I inboxed you, and I remember I was having an event at my house that day. And you were talking to me, we were talking back and forth, and I said, well, I won't be able to get them today because I have something going on. And you said, I'll bring them. And you came, and you were so professional, and I was impressed. And so at that point, I started, I think I sent you a friend request, and I started watching you. And then I saw you going into the schools, working with kids.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I told you about that.
No.
And working with kids and helping them,
Absolutely.
and so I was really impressed by the program that you were doing with the young people. And I just thought about it when you said you were 6. And so.
Yep. So my youth program is Beauty with Berry. I've been to so many of the Flint community schools. It's the after school program. It's with the after school program. What is it called? Youth Quest. It's with Youth Quest.
Right.
And I go up with the girls, and They turn into my family. Honestly, they become my little babies, and they come up under me. And even after the program is finished, when I see them out, and they just like, oh my God, I miss you. I can't wait to come back. So they really enjoy it. And I teach them all about not just hair. It's not just hair. It's
'Cause
about
that's what I wanted to know. What if I had a 10-year-old?
what are you teaching.
What do you teach?
Absolutely. It's about entrepreneurship. It is about being your own boss. It's about self-respect. It's about self-love, self-care, hygiene, learning how to respect yourself and respect others. Also, with learning how to, if you have the passion for this, I'll show you some tips and some tricks on how to perfect the craft. So it's an awesome program. The children love it, and it's not just for girls. I had a lot of young men.
In it?
I had some young men in the program too, because I also teach them how to cut hair, not with shears, not just with shears, but with the clippers. And we incorporated fashion. I'm a fashion guru. I love fashion, that type of thing.
Well, we
So
can tell.
thank you.
Really, you can tell.
Thank you. So yeah, the youth program, I'm starting it again this fall. So it's the families will be able to register, and they'll come right here. I have just figure out how many students will be allowed at one time in one setting. But absolutely, the program is awesome.
So you said that you got this place last year, but you just had the grand opening 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. I haven't even worked in here yet.
So talk about that. Talk about what did you
Wow.
have to do and go through to make this happen?
A lot. I had to jump over so many hurdles, but it was all worth it. So when I first got the place in November, I had to entirely gut the entire place out. It had no
Okay.
floors, it had no paint, it had no lighting. It was not set up for a salon setting at all. So at the time, I honestly, even before, I'm always a transparent person. When I even got the space, I honestly didn't know how I was going to afford the rent. I didn't know how I was going to gut it out. I didn't know how I was going to do anything. But once I started to pray and just allow God to just to fill my cup up, it just started to flow to me. So I started to get the income. The finances started to come in. So once I found a reliable contractor, I found good quality furniture, and then I was able to produce the things that I needed to come into the salon. But then what happened? COVID-19 hit.
Right.
So once COVID-19 hit, it was a wrap. No salon. It just had to sit. The workers, the contractors, they still came up and did their work. But although it was finished, I still wasn't able to open up. Of course, just because it's a pandemic, the rent is still due. So I still had to pay rent. So I'm still working in my basement from home, selling, because I also have product lines. So I'm selling products, I'm doing hair from home, managing my children, and it was quite the task, but it got done. And I just don't make excuses for anything.
But you know what, and I wish I could remember everything that was said, but I was watching something a couple days ago on CNN, and it was really about this 100-year anniversary of women having the right to vote. And somebody was talking, and they said two other things, but the last line they said was, start before you're ready.
Absolutely.
Don't wait until you're ready. Get started.
Get started.
And as you were talking, that's what you did. That's what you did.
If you don't start, you'll procrastinate, and you probably will never start. And mentally, I know that. I'm consciously aware of, you just got to get started.
You've got to get started.
Yeah.
That was what we did. We kept saying, we're going to do this show, we're going to do this show. And then we said, let's just start.
Let's just
Absolutely.
Let's just start.
I tell
and
people
you have
that.
to step out on faith, and you did that.
I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that moment, because on one side of the fence, I had some fear. Because when you in a predicament where you don't really know where your income going to come in to kind of keep the bills going, I don't want to get at least a space and not be able to pay the bills.
Right.
But I said, you know what? I can do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure it out. So I just kept going.
Wow.
I just kept going.
Wow. And I mean, and look what happened.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's
Look
beautiful.
at what happened. And just wait until everything really opens up. Just wait.
I'm
You'll see.
excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I really am. Wow.
So, in talking about pulling your salon together, I, again, have been watching you on social media a lot, and I saw a lot that you've done a lot of things yourself.
Had to.
A lot of things. So, can you talk about that? Like, I'm seeing pieces in here that I recall from seeing you talk about them.
So what I do is, I knew I wanted a big, beautiful chandelier in my salon. So I went the internet, and I looked at the prices. I'm like, I can't afford that, but that's okay. So I went on Amazon and I ordered me some crystals, some Swarovski crystals, and I put the links together, and I went to Home Depot and I got a 3-tier plant stand. I'm gonna make my own chandelier.
And you said you got a 3-tier plant stand.
A 3-tier plant stand. I had to get the 3-tier because that's all they had.
Okay.
So I cut one of the tiers off.
Okay.
It was hard, but I did it, and I made it happen. I made a very beautiful chandelier. My mother helped me put it together, and
Wow.
I also made the chandelier in the back. And I had resources from my house that I just recreated, refurbished, and just turned it into something. I made benches here. I made pictures. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, and I like when you walk in and you see history in the making.
History in the making. Absolutely.
I looked up and I saw that and I said, I like that.
And I
like
believe
that.
in that firmly because I know I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. I'm stepping outside of a box that sometimes we conform ourselves in. And I said, we all have a purpose here on life, on earth, in this
Right.
universe. And my purpose is going to be fulfillful. I want to motivate, inspire, and I know for a fact that it's going to be historical. And I know that a lot of black women, it's hard for us,
Right.
you know, because we
Right.
have a stigma of just so many different types of things that holds us back sometimes. And I'm stepping outside of that. I'm not being conformed to that. That's not me. I'm stepping outside of that. So I know for a fact I am making history. Absolutely.
And I'm glad you said that because that's a conversation we've had with so many women, and actually we've had it with men and women, especially with young ones, because I remember when I was running for mayor, and I thought, before that, when I got the store, because I started selling natural hair, skin, and body products.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I have been a psychologist forever,
Okay.
and how do I change and do this? And then I put myself in a box thinking I'm probably too old to be doing something different like this. But I said, what the heck? I'm going to do it anyway. And so sometimes we do confine ourselves, whether it's by age or I've never had that experience before, and I'm not going to be able to do that. But you didn't let that stop you, and that's what we keep talking about. I think that's what's so amazing. You know, one of the amazing things about your story.
Yeah, and I hold firm to that. We have to be confident in ourselves, and we can't let things hold us back. And a lot of times it's fear. It's out of fear. We're scared. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know the what of or the unknown.
I was going to say it's the unknown.
The unknown.
The fear of the unknown.
But that's okay, because when you see what the unknown is, then you like, okay, I did that. So,
And I see you smiling too, because it gives you like a sense of pride, and
confidence.
it gives us pride
It
too.
does.
I mean, I am excited about
I'm
this.
excited for you.
Thank you.
One of the other things that I really, really love about you is you are a whole brand.
I am.
Yeah.
You are
Yes,
an entire brand.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Heat by Berry, which is my, and you know this story that I went out of town a few weeks ago and broke my flat iron.
Jameca,
I was so upset.
I know you were. I know it.
I was so upset, and I made a post, and I'm like, I am not okay.
I am not okay.
I broke my Hannah Berry flat iron, and I am not okay.
And you said the whole name
I
too,
did,
didn't you? I broke
did.
my Hannah Berry
I
flat
did.
iron.
And I felt like this was so professional of you. You wanted to know, how did I break my flat iron? And I'm like, no, it wasn't the flat iron, it was me.
Yeah.
It was totally, it was my fault. And so, you're a brand. Like, I didn't break any flat iron. I broke my Hannah Berry flat iron. And that was a big deal to me. And then, as Mary and I were doing our, research and talking about you, I was telling her about some of the other things that you have. And I love it because even your rollers, they are berries.
Yes.
You're a whole brand. Can you talk about that and what made you decide not to just be a salon owner, but to be a brand?
Absolutely.
And how you came up with berries for rollers.
Okay. So whenever someone thinks of a hairstylist, they just think of someone just do hair and that's it. But I knew that I was more than that. I'm not just a hairstylist. Hannah Berry is a brand, a household name, and I am building an empire. I will not be able to work behind that chair for the rest of my life. So my mindset is to build generational wealth for my children. Once I leave,
say that again.
Generational wealth. That's important for Black people, everybody to understand.
Right.
It doesn't matter what race you are.
Right.
You have to build that, and if you don't, your family suffer. And when my father passed, he allowed me to see you have to build wealth for your family. And so what I'm doing is I'm creating an empire. So I came up with the different creative products that suits my brand.
Okay.
So when I came up with the berry, first of all, when I create, my mind thinks all the time. I'm a Virgo. I'm creative. It just, I never stop thinking, especially in the terms of business. So I always get these premonitions at night, just laying down, berries, rollers, how can we make this happen? So Google is my best friend. I'm always on Google, so I'm researching like, who can make me some berry rollers? How can I make this happen? So voila, I found it. I found the source. I found a manufacturer that have the material to actually create a berry shape form turned into a roller. And once you roll it into your hair, you don't need pins, you don't need a clip. You just actually roll your hair and it stays. And I'm like,
it's an answer to my prayer.
Absolutely.
Right.
And when I tell you that's one of my best, like when people see it, they like, oh my God, that is so creative. So that's one of my best top sellers. And I started with the flat iron, but I just got, honestly, when I as a stylist, when I'm using different products, I'm like, why isn't it my brand? I should be using my brand. So I uniquely designed a flat iron to how I love my flat irons,
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. I know
love
how I
my
want a flat iron to be. So I came out with the flat irons. I came out with the press and comb, the rollers, the silk pillowcases, the silk bonnets, the edge wraps. Even hair products, silkening serum. My clients have a issue with burning their hair out, so I came out with a heat protectant. And honestly, it's my customers who guide me. I'm tired of burning my hair out. What do you got for me? 1 second, I'll be back. So that's kind of how my products start. I have like 4 different hair products. It's the heat protectant, it's the silkening wax stick, and then I also have what's the other one?
You do so much you can't even keep up.
I know.
That's a great product.
Edge control.
Edge
Edge control, but it's not just any type of edge control. It's edge control that has CBD and castor oil in it that grows your edges. So I think innovatively of who's not doing this. So
what problems and issues do I hear?
Absolutely. Women.
So you fill a gap. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
It's filling a gap.
Yep.
You said Virgos were creative. I hope my sister's listening to this. She's usually watching, but she's a Virgo. And so the next time I ask her to do something, I'm going to say, no, I heard Virgos were creative, Helen.
Very.
And
I'm going to say, Miss Helen, you hear that?
Maybe she's going to say, no, that Virgo is creative. But you are. You really are. And that's part of, I think, being successful. Is you don't let things stop you. You see a block, but you figure out, how do I go over it, under it, around it, break through it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking about.
That's absolutely what I do. Even with different manufacturers, when they tell me that they cannot create a product for me, no problem.
Right, I'll find someone.
I'll find someone. It's just not you. Yeah.
So what's been the most exciting part for you?
The most exciting part, honestly, is for my children to see all of this come about. They see me in the basement doing hair from tiny tots to now. So when my children were so upset that they couldn't come here today, because they normally they out of school, they're virtual learning, so they always tag along behind me. But to see my 2 boys witness what I'm doing and love to be so involved with everything that I have going on, I can tell that I'm molding them into little entrepreneurs, and it's just such a joy for me. And that's the part I love the most. And to see my clients that has known me from, I've been doing hair since like 16 to now. I have clients that I've done and has been doing since age 16 to now. And for them to see me at this point and they are truly amazed at my growth, and I love to hear them, you know, of just sharing memories with me about my past and stuff like that. So
I think that's so inspirational. I saw on one of the banners when you were preparing for your grand opening, and you had a banner and it said "Started from the basement, now I'm here."
absolutely,
And so, and I thought that was, I was like, okay,
absolutely.
So I just think that that's, you know, inspirational for our kids. Like you said, your kids.
Because you can start anywhere.
You can start.
It doesn't
And
matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I remember, because I remember one time, the way I started selling the products that I have was I was at a flea market. I was at a flea market, and I had stopped working at MOP. And my daughter asked me, she said, "Mom, what is that like to be director of behavioral services, and you're working, and you're at a flea market right now?" I said, "It's fine." I said, "Because it's an honest living." I said, and I have learned so much. I mean, I learned things there that I wasn't going to learn anyplace else. And we became like family. And they actually, when I had the physical store, a lot of the people from the flea market, they came and helped me. I mean, they built shelves, and they were sanding, and they were just helping me put things together.
Wow.
And so whatever the experience is, you can take it.
Absolutely.
And whether it's a basement,
Yep.
a flea market, you know, a stand outside. I mean, you don't let
You
those
started.
things. You started. You started, and if you can dream it, dream big, and you're dreaming big.
Absolutely.
You really are.
Absolutely. I look at myself, I look at my brand, I just look at my future. I know I love my community. I love the Flint community because my community been just embracing me, and I love that. But although I know I've started here, I have a vision that I know I'm going to go beyond the Flint community. You know, I know for a fact that this might even turn into franchises where I have different, you know, Hanna-Berry hair salons and globally, and not just. I'm a teacher. I'm an instructor. I love to teach what I'm doing. So from marketing to branding to promoting to behind the chair, I have so much.
Hair school.
Absolutely, an academy. That's what I have inside of me, and I know I can produce that when I keep going. Not if I
Right, you
will.
can.
I will
You
keep
can.
going on. So those are my vision. Those are
I can see that.
yeah, and I'm working so hard towards that.
Wow.
That is.
I'm working
I
so
know
hard.
it. I know it. It really is.
So if someone, if in our viewing audience wanted to come here, that maybe for whatever reason,
Where are we?
where are we, and how
Tell
do they
us.
contact you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we are at Hanna-Berry Hair Salon. We right off Linden Road, right in back of Smoothie King. It's 3442 South Linden Road. Come and check me out. When I wanted my salon to be a different vibe, a different feel. I give off a different frequency. I want anybody to come in here to feel welcome. And even if you don't get hair services, even if you don't buy a product from me, I just want you to be able to value, just take something from me, you know, whether it's knowledge, whether it's me inspiring, leave with something from me. And I just make sure that I want to give that energy to any and everybody that walks in here.
Okay.
Well, I think you've succeeded with
I
that.
do too.
Really.
I do
Thank you.
too.
Because I mean, when I walked in, I was just like, wow,
Thank you.
I like this.
I like that expression because that's what I wanted.
Because you do. You walk in and you say, wow.
Okay.
You walk
That's
in
good.
and
Nice
you got that
energy.
wow factor.
That's what I was shooting for. And I had very low funds. So for me to have the wow factor, that means something to me because I worked hard to get here. So that's good.
And I think what's also important is what you just said as far as very low funds. You don't have to have a lot of money
No,
all
you
the
don't.
time to be able to do things. Because that's one of the things we've been talking about is how hard it is for entrepreneurs and especially black entrepreneurs to get that seed money and get those loans.
Absolutely.
And there are other ways and things that you can do. I mean, like I said, I learned the value of a flea market really, and was able to decorate with old things and you know, it was new and used and old and I mean, and it gave it
Refurbishing
exactly,
things,
and that's what you were
reuse,
talking about.
repurposing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact that entrepreneurs always think that we have to have a certain amount of money to just get started.
Right.
And even no matter what business you coming into, you just got to start.
You've got to start.
No matter what. And the thing is, I'm so proud to actually say I opened this with not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And for me just to be able to sacrifice, I sacrificed so much. I didn't go out. I didn't buy clothes. I didn't get my nails done. I don't even have my nails done now. But it's a sacrifice because you do have to save.
But you and you have your priorities,
and they are in place.
and that's what I like hearing.
Yes,
And,
and it's so
like I have
important.
this goal, and that goal is your priority.
Absolutely.
So say what you did that again. I mean, because people need to
They need
recognize.
to know.
Right.
So when it comes to saving, certain things that I wanted, I didn't need it because I want to see my end goal. And if I go every month and I'm spending all this money, fast food, my children are like, we can't have McDonald's today? No, sons, not today. We have a goal here. And I even incorporate them in my
Right.
goal. It's not just me. We in this together.
Right.
So
Right.
saving is so important for entrepreneurs. Not even entrepreneurs. I feel like everybody should be saving money.
Right.
But
We
absolutely, saving is everything.
You know what's funny, and why we keep exchanging these looks is because this is our first time sitting down with you, you know, and you're saying a lot of the things that we're talking about every week. We're talking about celebrating savings.
Yeah.
We're talking about having a
Celebrating
goal.
savings.
That,
I
right.
like
I mean,
that.
and because we had an investor, someone to talk about investment. What was that? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about two or
2
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
And that was what you're saying is what he was saying.
Okay.
That's what he was saying. And then when you said savings,
You
I'm
have
like,
to
okay,
save.
here we go.
We
Let's
were talking
celebrate
about even
savings.
starting. We were talking about the importance of like the penny bank.
Yes.
Bank. You know, just putting money in even when you're a kid or an adult.
And we've talked about the
The
$5
challenge, saving all our $5 bills, and just saving and postponing gratification. Like maybe I can't get my nails done this week because I have a goal.
Absolutely.
And so we started talking about those things. And so you're
living proof
you're the
of it.
manifestation of the things that we've been talking about. And so that's why we're like smiling and so excited, because we've been saying you don't have to have $1 million to start.
No.
You work with what you have. We know that, and statistics show us that black people don't get loans at the same rate as other races. We just don't. It's not available to us like that. And so we've always had to be creative.
Absolutely.
In starting our own businesses.
Right, and you know what else I think you're doing is because there are so many stereotypes out there, and there are a lot of stereotypes about young people
Yes.
that are wrong,
Yes.
and especially young blacks.
Yes.
And everything you're saying goes against, it's like those myth busters. It goes against what people say
Yeah.
about young people and young black people. I mean, I was just like, wow, listen to her.
Yeah.
Listen to her.
And you actually, it's a mindset. Once you change your mindset, you can change your whole entire life. And once you start understanding the word you just said, manifestation,
Right.
that word is everything. You change your whole entire life. So once you started to align yourself with the things that you desire in your life, no matter, even if you think it's so outrageous, don't matter what it is, these things can come into your life if you're aligned with them. You can manifest anything in your life. And I know I have a vision board that I started in 2016. And not this very, but an outline of a salon. I didn't know how I was going to get a salon, but it's still on my vision board. And every single day I made sure that I did an action or a goal to get closer towards that. Whether it was saving, whether it was taking a picture, or just even in my head, just visualizing. The more you focus on something, it grows. And I focus so hard on what I'm doing, and I haven't really stepped outside of my body to experience what's happening right now, because I'm always so busy.
Yes,
Go.
yes.
I'm always on the go, but I see glimpses and pieces of it when I'm talking and sitting. I actually have a chance to sit down and, kind of like go over, take it in. So I just really want any entrepreneur out there, anyone who is ready or has even thought about starting a business or being your own boss or just tired of working a 9 to 5. I want you to understand that manifesting your own life changes with a mindset. And once you change your mindset of the way you think, the way you save, the way you live your life, you can manifest anything. And that is just the truth. The universe gives to us, as long as you give
what you give.
you have to give. You can't be selfish. I always have my hands open. Even when my hands is closed, it don't even feel good because I'm a giver. I openly give. And when you are a giver, the universe, God, the Most High, allows things to produce in your life. And I know I'm a living testimony of that. That's just what it is.
Absolutely. That is
Yeah.
so exciting. And so we are here at Hannah Salon. And so where is that located again?
It's at 3442 South Linden Road. We in Flint, Michigan. And it's right across the street from our van.
Okay.
So you know what you made me think? Is your information, because this directory is being put together with black businesses.
Okay.
DeJuan Robinson is putting that together. Does he have your information?
DeJuan Robinson, he came and he visited me.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure he has something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just,
All right. We can.
Right.
We're trying to make sure that black businesses are in. And part of that was we had Blackout Day.
Okay.
And that was a day that we were only supposed to frequent black businesses.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
And so they were already having the conversation before then.
Okay.
But we started having the conversation because we were together and we were trying to find out where can we
We
go
were trying to
gas.
have lunch.
We were trying to have lunch
with Ben Crump.
Yep.
The next day,
Yeah.
and we said, "Where are we
can
going
we
to
go?
go?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go?" And then we started really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And started trying to put a list together of, okay, is there a gas station? I mean, where do you go for different things that you need if you're doing that?
I need that directory.
Yeah.
I know it.
So
I know it.
We
You hear that,
want you
DeJuan?
to be in the directory too.
Okay.
Because again, where can I go to get my hair done? Or where can I go to get some rollers, a pillowcase, some flat irons, and the other things? Who does these things?
Who does these things? I mean, so I just wanted to make sure that you were in there.
Okay.
So good. That's good to hear.
I don't know if I'm in there, but I'm
You
going to
will
be
be.
sure that I get in there.
Yeah.
You will be.
Yeah.
Because we told them we were collecting information as well.
Okay.
So we can get that.
Okay. And I also want to put out there, because I haven't worked during the pandemic, I do want to share a little bit about my mastery. I want to just call it a craft.
Okay.
A lot of women come to me who has hair issues. They from either alopecia, cancer, just whatever type of disease that has taken their hair out. And when I create wigs, I make wigs. And when my clients or my new customers, when I create it for them and I install their hair, it's just like, it does something to my soul.
It does something to you.
It does. And just for me to be able to just produce that to individuals, I love it. I want to just put it out there just so anybody
people know.
Just so people know, if you are having issues, it's not the end of the world. Because as women, when we lose our hair, we do think it's like, not the end of the world, but the end of something.
Right.
So I want to put it out there. No, don't.
We like looking. We like
right.
our look.
Absolutely.
Right.
So it's not the end of the world. I can create something that looks so natural, no one would even know. Like,
I saw you had a lady and she had lost her hair and she had a hairstyle that was like braided and up and it was looked really natural and pretty.
yeah.
How long did it take you to know, I've got a gift?
It didn't take long. My mind, I'm extremely confident when it comes to what I'm doing. And I might not know how to fix a motor or change a tire, but in this industry, I know what I'm doing. And the fact that I did sacrifice, I did take classes. I went out of state to take multiple classes, and just to get that under my belt so I can give people a sense of, I know she knows what she's doing. All my clients sit in my chair and they don't even tell me what they want. They just allow
Let
me
you
to just
create.
Absolutely. And that feels good because they feel
That
that
shows
comfortable.
that they're comfortable, they're confident with what you do, and they have trust in you.
Absolutely. And they trust me.
And they trust you.
Absolutely.
And that's a big one.
That is.
That's a big one.
That is.
So are your favorite colors red and black?
My favorite color is red.
Okay.
And
because that's a nice accent. It looks
it's
good.
pretty.
thank you. I thought it was like a real
It's bold.
It's very, very bold. It's very bold.
And happy.
Yep.
Bright and happy.
And it makes the eyes pop like, oh,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So yeah, I love red.
Yeah, I do. Well, I do.
Yep.
Now, who's that in the picture?
That is me.
That's what I thought.
That is me.
That's what I thought.
That is me with my hair rolled up with the berry rollers. Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
And you
I
said
like
you don't. You just there's no pin or.
There's not a pin, not a clip,
Okay.
not a
Wait till we
nothing.
do behind the scenes.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, and I even carry mannequin hair. I even started a fitness line.
Oh.
Fit by Berry. I
Okay.
have these.
Okay, now what is that?
Fit by Berry. Okay, so during quarantine, I gained so much weight. I was almost 200 and such pounds. I'm not even gonna put it out there. So when I got on the scale, I said, no, this is not me. So I wanted to create something. I seen a lot of people on social media also said that they gained weight. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
come on, y'all. So me and my other half, he's my life partner, we began to work out every single day, no matter what. And that's where Fit by Berry came out. So now we have waist trainers. Now we have these cool water bottles where they're weights, but you can actually
Use them to
work out. So that's another project that I'm working on. I'm just enjoying.
enjoy the
entrepreneur
journey.
because
Yeah.
entrepreneurship can come. In the beginning, when I didn't know what I was doing, I was so stressed out. It becomes so stressful, but once you understand that you have to just manage your time and just balance out everything that you're doing and manage your time wisely, it becomes enjoyable. Yep.
See, and that's what people need to know too, because it can be.
It overwhelming when all these different customers and all these different things are pulling and tugging at you. It's just a stressful situation. But once you start to understand how to just start balancing everything out, some days you might not want to do your inventory. Some days you might not want to do the hard stuff. But on the days where you just free and clear and no stress, those are the days that you do the hard things. But on the days that you don't like really, on the days where it's just kind of easy for you, okay, well, I'm going to do the easy stuff. You just kind of got to figure out what works for you.
Well, it sounds like you figured it out.
Yeah.
It's a rhythm. You
It's
just got to find
right.
your rhythm.
Right.
Find your rhythm and just keep moving.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. That's good, and this is good information.
It is.
For people to hear, because you have a real life story.
Absolutely.
You have a real life story, and we're glad you're sharing it with us.
It's about sharing the knowledge. It's about
Right. And
sharing
that's
the
what we-
information.
right.
You
Right.
have to share the information. You can't hold it in you. That's why I started the class. I even have one-on-one classes, whether it's business, whether it's doing hair, no matter what. I just always like to just share with people so they can share with somebody. It's a collective of information.
Like
So
paying it forward.
absolutely.
Paying it forward.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you work with you and that you're so
I know it. I would
open
love
with
to see that
information,
class.
that's beautiful. Because what do I always say, Mayor, about our girls? Our girls are watching.
And you never know.
And you never
don't even know they're watching, and that's what
you
we
don't
say.
you don't realize it, but they're watching.
We have this passion for girls.
Yeah, and so they're
really do.
watching, and so just to see what you're doing and to be able to sit down with you, and you're inspiring
Right.
the next generation.
Absolutely.
Boys too, but,
Right.
but we have
Because
to
we
think
want
about
boys.
girls.
We want boys and young men to be
Yeah.
strong.
You know
women.
what? It's not crazy to me, but I get so many men that reach out to me and say, "You really inspire me. What you doing? I watch you all the time on social media, and it's just an inspiring thing." So when I hear that, it's just like, wow, that's amazing. I don't know what that is, but I'm just.
That's okay. Look, let me tell you something. Was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I don't know. Whenever
I know
Kamala
what you're
Harris
talking
was,
about. That was
nominated as
week
VP,
before
we're
last.
taping.
Uh-huh.
And someone comes in and gives us a thumbs up and says, Kamala. We started screaming in the middle of the show. So you taking care of that is fine. In the middle of the show, we start screaming.
And the show went a whole different direction
Oh,
from
wow.
that moment on. Because
Wow.
we were just,
And then we said, what were we talking
What were we
about?
talking
Because we
about?
had gotten so excited. So no, that is
So,
fine. I'm
and
still excited.
I am still excited too. And then that goes back to that the next generation is like they're watching.
Right, they are.
I remember when Mayor Weaver was in office and there was something happening at my niece's school. And so some of our other co-workers, Dr. Pugh and Lynette Phillips, they went over to the school for the event.
Okay.
And it ended up being in my niece's classroom.
Okay.
And they're there, and they text me, they're like, we're in your niece's classroom. She just told everybody, in class, she says, the mayor has the most important job. That my aunt, she works for the mayor, and she does this and she does that. And it was funny, it was cute,
But
it was
they knew
funny,
that
and it
you
was
were the
exciting.
first
And she knew
in
I was
that
the
job
first.
responsibility.
And so even though I'm knowing that, I'm seeing her, she's paying attention. She was paying attention to my work. She was paying attention to Mayor Weaver. She knew that she was the first woman mayor. She was watching that. I didn't realize how closely she was watching me.
Wow.
Until we had a Black History program at the beginning of this year, right before everything shut down.
Uh-huh.
And so the kids were selecting who they wanted to be for Black History, and she said, I want to be my aunt. Everybody's looking at her. She's like, she was the first chief recovery officer for Flint. And so I knew that she had been paying attention to my work somewhat. I knew she had been paying attention to mayor because she told everybody in her class that the mayor has the most important job in the city. But
They are definitely paying attention.
but she was paying attention
you never
to
know.
me.
You don't.
And you
even know
never
it.
know. So you have kids paying attention to you, and not just kids, adults.
Adults,
Like,
too.
people are paying attention to what you're doing, and that's inspiring to someone who's watching.
Absolutely.
And so people say, they're looking at you and they see that they can become a whole brand.
And
Because that's what I'm glad you brought that up,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's so important. Because remember when we were talking with Tyra Hill, and we were talking about branding and how do you brand yourself,
Absolutely.
and you have branded yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you are the face of your brand, there's a certain type of way that you carry yourself. And I'm not just Hannah Berry, I'm Hannah Berry the brand.
Right.
And I call myself Hannah Berry the movement. And because I'm moving people to become their own boss, their own, whatever it is that you desire, just become it. Become that. So becoming a brand it's a good feeling. It's fulfilling. Yeah, it's fulfilling.
And it is, and it's something that has to be done, because we talked about that a lot, that you have to be able to brand yourself in certain kinds of things.
That is like the most important thing.
Was that hard to do?
Branding myself was not hard at all, because I believe that my energy draws people in, and the fact that I share my story on social media, and because people have watched me before I was a brand, and then once they saw me working to become a brand, they kind of saw the steps and the hurdles that I chose, that I took to get here. So by people watching and seeing, they say, I see her doing that, I know that I can do that. So for me, it wasn't hard. I just had to equip myself for the hurdles and the obstacles, because there is obstacles when it comes to branding.
Can you talk about that? Some of the obstacles?
When it comes, so I also sell hair, and whenever you mess up one time as an entrepreneur or as a business or as a Black business, we get down talked so bad.
And it happens a lot for women.
Absolutely.
It happens a lot.
Absolutely.
As if people don't mess up sometimes.
Right.
We're human.
And we don't excuse each other.
And they don't, and we do not get no excuse.
And we start talking about you.
And that was a big hurdle for me. When you're selling hair in this community and you're selling expensive hair, and it was a situation where I hate that I cannot control the quality of my product. Whatever my manufacturer sends me, that's what it is. I can do quality control to see, but I actually have to wear the hair to make sure that it's great, beautiful hair. So there was an incident where a manufacturer sent me a way bad batch of hair, and I sold out of it, but I was downplayed as if I'm just out to take people money. And honestly, to be honest, I don't even make big profit on selling hair. It's not profitable for me because it's so expensive. But just that hurdle, it was so hurtful. I honestly got into a very depressed state, because when you are a brand, one bad mark on your name makes
You sure
almost
don't.
everybody
I
not
was
want to
gonna
deal with
say
you.
Yeah,
And because
you
we
right.
lived through it, and it's
Yeah.
hard.
It
It's
is so
hurtful.
hard. It's
It's
so
and you
hurtful.
have to have such thick skin.
I had to develop that.
Right.
Because at first I was so sensitive. Everything that someone said negative about me, it affected the inside. But I had to say, I got to stand up. And I can't let that affect how I feel, how I move. Because I didn't even want to honestly leave the house. Because when you become a brand, that engulfs your whole entire life. So now all these different people on social media is like bashing my brand, which is me.
Right.
I'm like, wait,
Right.
no,
I'm trying to make you out to be somebody
that
you're
I'm not.
Or,
But
or
you go to
like you
McDonald's,
intentionally-
I hate to even speak the name,
No,
and you get
go.
some cold fries or
I bet you go back though.
exactly. You go back
Right, you
tomorrow
go back.
and get some more
And-
fries.
right.
But not with us. It's not like that.
Right.
So that is one of the biggest hurdles that I have over. I'm not even going to say that I overcame it because it's still.
It's hard to overcome, and it hurts for a while.
It does.
And especially when it comes from certain people too.
It does. It
You know,
does.
I was having a conversation actually before I got here, and I was talking with someone, and I said, you know, some things are more hurtful depending on who said, did them,
Absolutely.
because you're expecting support
Absolutely.
from them.
Yep.
So it's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
But we can get through it.
But we can get through that.
We can get through it.
that. I was going to say, you just keep your head up and keep on
Yeah,
going,
keep
because,
on
I mean,
going.
look at what you have accomplished.
Absolutely.
Look at what you've accomplished.
Absolutely.
Wow. I'm just, I'm happy. I mean, it just makes me
Yeah.
feel good.
Thank you. I
It
appreciate
makes me
that.
feel good.
Yep, I'm
it's
grateful.
exciting to see and to know. And what you know, let me tell you this.
Okay.
As many whatever haters as you may have, you have a whole bunch of support out here.
I'm
Yeah.
You
grateful.
have a lot of support.
Because I'm
out
telling you,
here.
anytime
I'm
I said,
grateful.
when I told people where I was, you know, what I was going to be doing and where we'd be, they're like, oh, wow. I mean, people were just
That's
really excited about
Wow.
where we were coming and who we were going to be with, and said, well, I can't wait to see that show.
Wow. I am so
So-
grateful for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're sitting here with women who understand that hurdle of having people say negative things, sometimes lies, or sometimes we all error, sometimes it's an error. I mean, but just bashing you and having to watch that and having your family watch that. Mayor Weaver can tell you way more than I can.
I'm sure.
And I can tell you
I was gonna
working
say, but you-
alongside her, you know, how that feels and how hurtful it is. But just know that you have an army.
Well, it's giving me
behind you.
goosebumps.
Well, you
like,
do. You do.
I am
You
so
do.
grateful.
And what you've been able to accomplish, it is beautiful in here. And I can't wait till we do the behind the scenes, because we can walk around and look at some different things, but it is beautiful in here.
Thank
and
you.
just watching your journey. And this is only our third time meeting face to face. The first time in my house, last time when I came and got my flat irons.
Yep.
A week or so ago, and my other flat irons after I broke the ones, and now, but I feel like I know you from just watching your story,
Well, the way she's talked about you, I thought she really, really knew you.
because I'm talking about you because I'm so excited
I know,
for
because
you.
I said, well, Jameca knows her. Jameca knows her. You know, so.
Just watching
But
your
she has
story,
been. She's
right.
been so excited about you.
It's so important for me to share my story on social media. Nowadays, it's so technology
Right.
has kind of
Right.
taken everything.
It really has.
So once I'm sharing, people is picking up on my story. So that's kind of how I put it out there. So a lot of people do feel like we're best friends, and I never even met them before.
Right, I know it. Isn't
I've
that
never
a funny
met them
feeling?
before.
But
Then
it's
when
nice.
it is.
Nice.
It's very welcoming. So
Right.
that it's just a good feeling.
So if you had a tip,
Right,
to
that's
give
what I was
to
going to
people,
say. What would it be?
what would it be?
So my tip is, I have to share. We have said this almost 3 times during the show, but I have to say it again. Once you know that you want to achieve something, whether it's an entrepreneur, a business owner, no matter what it is, whatever it is, you have to start. That was a post that I just put on my social media, I think yesterday. The fear of the unknown, no matter what it is that it is, just get started. Just get started. And a lot of times entrepreneurs or especially the new entrepreneurs think things you just a success story overnight. It's the microwavable generation where they just think instant
Everything
success.
happens quickly.
It doesn't happen like that. There's a process that you have to go through, and once you understand that everybody has a process, you're not gonna just climb up this ladder in this short amount of time. Just know that you're gonna eventually get there. Just keep working, and I tell myself that every single day. Just keep working.
Just keep working.
Just keep working, and please don't get complacent, don't get comfortable. No matter where you at in life, just keep going and keep progressing to keep elevating and growing. Your mind, your spirituality, your consciousness, your business, just keep scaling your whole entire life to the next level.
And I know we still have a little bit of time, but talk about the classes you're going to do again, because I think we should let people know about that with the young people.
The classes, Youth by Berry, will be coming up in the fall. I have registry. Once I get the certain amount of students that I'm allowed to have in this space, I can go ahead and get my girls registered. It's so many families that has already contacted me. They always contact me, Handy, have you started your youth?
Because that's what I was going to say. If somebody wanted to be in the class, what do they have to do?
All they have to do is just contact me. I'm
Okay.
not hard to find. I'm not hard to...
How do you prefer people contact you?
My cell phone number.
Okay.
You want me to put it out there?
Sure, if you
If
want to.
you're comfortable with that.
810-893-3846. The youth program, the ages start from age 7 to 15. Contact me so we can go ahead and get you registered in the program. And like I said, the program teaches you about entrepreneurship. It teaches you about self-love, self-respect, hygiene, mastering in the beauty industry, and just growing and developing into this skillful person.
And how many weeks is it?
It's for 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
And so how many do you do? Will you do just one 5-week, or will you do 2 of them?
So I am trying to fit, because I am just one person.
I know it.
And I am waiting.
Yeah, and it's
I am,
hard.
I'm waiting
And
for
you're
my
in demand.
team. I am very in demand, and I'm waiting for my team. I don't have a team. I do everything by myself. And so right now I was thinking I was going to do, in the fall, I was going to do 2 or 3 5-week sessions of the youth program. And hopefully I'll be able to get 6 or 7 girls at each session at a time.
Okay.
And we'll just keep rolling it out to see how it continues. And then once the school system start opening back up, I'll also be back in the school, because I love in the Youth Quest. Absolutely.
So when you do the classes, do you have anybody take pictures so you can put them out there, or you don't do
So
that?
actually, so it's funny you say that. I have a photographer, but when it comes to having promo, it gets so expensive, so it's kind of out my budget. So I kind of take it on my cell phone. I just kind of get creative. So right now I don't.
So we'll be able to see them though.
Absolutely.
You'll have them on social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's something.
That's exciting.
Absolutely.
That is very.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys coming and talking to me and sharing my story.
And we are so happy
Yeah.
that you shared your story.
Right.
And you were so responsive, and you know. So one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to go out into the community and talk with Black businesses.
Okay.
You're actually the first. You're the first business that we've gone out to.
No way.
Yes,
We've
absolutely.
only had 2. This is just our second show that was on the
in
scene.
location,
Right,
on
in
location.
Wow, I am
But
so
you're the
honored.
first business that
Right.
we've actually gone to your business.
And wow, Jameca, we're about out of time.
We are
So
out of time.
tell them how to tune in to us.
So tune in to Black Money Matters on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. And when the repeat episode is Saturdays at 1 a.m. on Channel 17.
And if you have suggestions.
And if you have suggestions of businesses or topics, please contact us at blackmoneymatters2@gmail.com. You can also watch our shows on our Facebook page, Black Money Matters. It'll be the page with our face. And it's also on our YouTube page. And we have an Instagram now.
That's right. So
What's our Instagram?
Black Money Matters Inc. So tune in
And follow us.
on Black Money Matters.
Mr. Mays was illegally removed. It's a very simple process. Okay, I don't know what the deal is with the city attorney, but I talked to a half-dozen attorneys who agree with Mr. Mays, who isn't an attorney. I'm not an attorney. but I talked with one of the most prominent attorneys in the United States, who said, it's real simple. Somebody should just stand at the microphone and say, hey, can the city attorney read that again and maybe get a second opinion? Because it's real simple. You vote to put him back in his seat because you made a mistake. Mr. Mays was 100% correct according to every attorney I've talked to. I talked to one who said, you know, he'll come represent Mr. Mays and get him $1 million. Please don't let that happen. We could use that money to create some jobs. I know 34 million went to the Flint, Tennessee chamber. Did we get any jobs out of that? I haven't seen them. No. Have we seen any jobs from that? No. I'm sure.
Hello and welcome to Meet the Candidates. Not only do we have the candidates here, but we also have Eric Mays, councilman for Flint. We're going to be here today and we're discussing the brutal and awful shooting that had taken place.
Anyone else would like to address this council? One more. State your name for the record. Thank you.
My name is Salon and this is my first. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Helen Brock and I'm in the first ward. This is my first time ever coming up here. And this is the most disrespectful council people I have ever seen. My reason now, you know I don't follow you everywhere, but I'm really disappointed in you because I think Eric needs to come right up here and go right over there in his seat